What's going on, YouTube? AJ Simmons here with my cleaning business video of the day, and I want to talk about cleaning franchises and before you buy one, because I feel like I can't stress this stuff enough. And the reason why I like to focus on this a lot is simply because I have a conscience and I care. You know what I mean? And it's kind of obvious. That's why I do these videos the most. You know what I mean? It's simply because I care and I love to help people and I love to teach what I know. But before you buy a franchise, I want to stress a couple of things. Some of these things you probably heard me say already, but you might need to hear it again just so it can kind of hit home this time. And so first thing, like I just said in one of my most recent videos, I think it was yesterday's cleaning business video, is you need to get your experience up. Before you buy in, get your experience up. Go work for somebody else, alright? I'm not going to elaborate on that too much because I just spoke about it. Go click on that video if you want to hear about it. But get that experience up, alright? Now, read your fees. Know what they're going to take from you before you buy in. That's the most important thing. I don't care about anything else. That's the most important thing. Because if you don't know about the fees and what they're going to take from you, then you're going to feel cheated, you're going to feel ripped off, and you're going to become unmotivated. I don't know if that's a real word, dismotivated. That doesn't sound right either. But the bottom line I'm trying to say is you won't be motivated to do the job anymore. You won't be motivated to grow your business. You won't be motivated to continue with what you just invested in. And that's going to be the worst thing that could happen to you. So what you need to do is study the fine print. This is something that I can't tell you. I do my best to steer you in the right direction without giving away people's formulas, because at the end of the day, these are franchises and they have systems in place. They have secret formulas in place that make them successful. These businesses are very successful. Otherwise, we wouldn't know them by name, now would we? All across the nation like that, and in some cases across the globe. Alright, so they do have systems in place, and obviously they got to be successful when they still rolling like that, and we all know who they are. Okay, so I can't tell you how much each fee exactly is, but what I can tell you is to make sure you go read the fine print in your particular policies and procedures and franchise document disclosure and all of that, and go read it and see how much they're taking from you before you even buy in. Because if you don't know that, then you won't be able to be successful, because you won't be able to grow properly. Because if you have to know those fees, because it controls your business, because too much of a fee can disrupt your entire cash flow. Alright, that's what's really made me so successful, is because I know my fees very, very well. I know what my check is going to be. I know when I can gamble and when I can't. I know when I can hire and when I can't. I know when I can take on a new account and when I can't. And that sounds crazy to people who haven't immersed themselves in business and learning the business, because they'll say, well, what do you mean when it's smart to take an account when I take account? I'm taking all the accounts. I'm just trying to grow that business. I'm just trying to get this money. Why wouldn't I want to take accounts? I'm trying to grow. I ain't trying to lose no money. But see, that's a person that hasn't educated themselves yet on how the business works. You know what I mean? It's either that or they must got like a truckload of money sitting aside just waiting to get dumped into this thing, because otherwise you know what I mean, you're gonna have to bootstrap this business 9 times out of 10. I mean, let's just be for real here. The majority of us who invest into these businesses, we come from nothing, and we took our last $5,000, $10,000, $3,000, whatever you took, it was usually our last. Every now and then you get something who invested in it who had more available, but 9 times out of 10 you invested your last. And if you invested your last, then you need to be very, very, very strategic about how you grow, so that way you don't put yourself in debt, number one. And number two, you just want to make sure that you just know what you're doing. Like, you want to make sure that you don't end up worse off than what you started with. Alright, you want to make some money, and especially if you're getting loans, because I've talked to a couple of different people who said that they might be starting their businesses on loans. And I told you before, Is there anything wrong with starting a business on a loan or a franchise on a loan? No, I did it. Alright? There's nothing wrong with it. But you just need to be very, 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 very careful, especially if you're only getting the loan for the down payment and not for the entire franchise, because now that means you're making a payment on the actual franchise note to the franchise company itself, and you're going to be making a monthly payment to your loan person, the person that gave you the loan. You know what I mean? So just consider these things, all right? And so while I'm on that, I just want to give this one little nugget to you, and I'm gonna say it here, and you probably won't get this again free. But it's something that's small, and it makes common sense once I tell you. But you probably wouldn't even think about it. Some people won't. You know what I mean? But you need to make sure that you have at least 6 months included in that loan. So, all right, let me say that again, because I said it wrong. All right, the payment that you're going to have to make on the loan, whatever that monthly payment is going to be, you need to have 6 months worth of that added on to the down payment or the total cost of the franchise, whatever you're trying to pay, whether you're trying to just pay the down payment or whether you're trying to buy the franchise in full. You need to take that amount and add 6 months worth of monthly payments, and that's how much of a loan you need to get if you're going to get a loan. And the reason why I tell you that, I'll tell you that. The reason why I tell you that is because you're not going to get you're not going to get these accounts in one day. Okay? They tell you in your fine print how long they have to fulfill your package, but I can guarantee you and I can promise you it won't be the day after you sign that contract. Okay? But your loan originator, the person who lends you the money to buy it, ain't trying to hear none of that. All they know is next month you better have that money for that payment on that date that they said. They don't have time to wait for when you get your first account. So you need to consider these things, all right? Because you really don't want to keep taking from your own personal money to keep pouring into that business after you just spent what might have been your last to eat just to get in. You know what I mean? Like most of us, we get into this opportunity to try to raise our income. We're looking for another way outside of the job, and this is a great way to do that. All right. Another thing I want you to consider before you buy in is this. I always tell you this. I don't have any problem with telling you this. I have no shame in my game when telling you this. Don't buy a franchise if you're capable of starting the cleaning business on your own. If you're comfortable enough, you're confident enough, you got experience in this field, try it out. If anything, I say try to do it on your own first. If you go about 6 months and ain't got one account, then maybe you might want to consider buying a franchise. Then, if you're getting restless. But if you done it and you've been in 6 months, you ain't got an account, but you still good, fine, keep rolling. You know what I mean? Try again. But I really don't recommend buying a franchise if you don't have to. All right, because like I'm you hear me talking about fees all the time. The fees can get very expensive, and that's just not with cleaning franchises. That's franchises across the board. All right. So if you can't avoid buying in, avoid it. But if you feel better buying in, buy in. I did it. I like it. Some people don't. All right. So you just got to figure out what works for you, and that's pretty much what I got to tell you on that. So before you buy in, just weigh the good versus the bad. Watch my pros and cons of commercial cleaning franchises, all right? And just check out the other stuff that I'm offering to you. But I really want you guys to make informed decisions because I care. And a lot of them, I actually ran into a guy today who was watching my videos. It's funny because I run into more and more people, even where I live now, who don't even realize that I'm right here where they are. And then I'm in Atlanta more now, in Georgia now, and I already know that I'm gonna run into a lot of people there. So, and so I just try to make sure I'm always transparent, because at the end of the day, the same guy that you get in them videos is the same guy you get when you see me in person, the same guy you gonna see on Facebook, the same guy you gonna see anywhere. I'm always the same. I do my best to be the same, because anyway, like the social media made it so that the world is smaller. They made it so that you can't be or I'm gonna be professional guy here, and then I'm gonna be a street guy over here. No, you gotta be the same person all the time from here on out. So take the best of all of your qualities and combine it into one big good person. All right. So anyway, I just want y'all to know that before you buy into the Cleanng franchise, those couple of things that I mentioned, and just make sure you read through the fine print. Take your time. If you don't feel 100% comfortable, you ain't ready to go all in, take your time. Don't buy in yet. Wait a little bit. Sleep on it. All right. Ain't no rush. Remember, AJ Simmons ain't gonna bash you if you feel like you taking your time on it. I'm not gonna call you a procrastinator. You know what I mean? It's a lot of money that you're investing. It's an investment. Investments take time, and just do what you gotta do. Do your due diligence. All right. So thank y'all for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. This is AJ Simmons, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.